The house that wouldn't stand. He didn't go looking for enlightenment. That's the first lie people tell after the fact. He went looking for relief. Tuesday night, cheap lamp buzzing, phone face down like it might explode, life arranged neatly enough to pass inspection, but hollow in the load-bearing beams. Job. History. A vocabulary of explanations, a face that worked, a future that technically existed. And then, crack. Not thunder, not angels, a hairline fracture in the story he'd been telling himself. It started small, annoying, thoughts misbehaving, emotions refusing their assigned seats, old memories crawling out of drawers like cockroaches that had learned his name. The artist showed up first. Soft voice, warm hands. "This is meaningful," it whispered. "You're opening. This has happened to others. There is beauty in the fire." And he believed it, because it helped him breathe. Then the floor dropped out. Sleep shattered into fragments. Identity peeled back like bad paint. The mirror became a crime scene. He watched whole personalities die without funerals. Beliefs went down screaming. Certainty bled out quietly in the corner. The artist kept painting. Colour everywhere, symbol, synchronicity, cosmic graffiti sprayed across his days. Numbers repeating, songs speaking directly to him like conspirators. He felt special, in the way a man feels special right before he realizes he's standing in traffic. That's when the architect arrived. No music, no incense, clipboard energy. It didn't care how profound he felt. It asked ugly questions. Can you pay your bills? Can you tell the truth without inflating it? Can you sleep, eat, show up? Does this insight make you kinder or just louder? The artist recoiled, called it harsh, cold. The seeker nearly agreed, but something in him, something quieter, older, sturdier, recognized the sound of a structure being tested. So he stayed. He watched fantasies collapse under their own decorative weight, watched the need to be more evaporate, watched the hunger for meaning turn out to be hunger for permission. Carnage, yes, but surgical. What survived wasn't luminous, it was functional. He didn't become awakened, he became accurate. Less story, more stance. Less explanation, more choice. The artist didn't die. It learned to paint after the building stood. And the architect didn't rule. It learned to leave windows. One morning, no fireworks, no choir, he caught himself doing something radical. Living. Not performing clarity, not narrating transformation, just moving through the day without lying to himself. That was the bargain he hadn't known he was making. He'd wanted comfort. He got coherence. And standing there, amid the quiet wreckage of who he'd been, he finally understood. The madness wasn't the awakening. The madness was thinking he could keep his old house after discovering the blueprint was wrong. So he built again, this time with both hands.